Imposter syndrome, that pesky feeling that shows up at the most inconvenient times. And you know what? Imposter syndrome shows up when you're really smashing it or about to. It will have you comparing yourself, thinking that you're going to be judged, putting yourself down, putting your products, your services down, your ideas down, not following through on your goals and your action plans because you're thinking it's not good enough, you're not good enough, and others might be wondering, what on earth is this person trying to be or do, because it doesn't fit the image of the person they know you to be. And God forbid, if you are working full time and decide that you want to start a business, you're going to start comparing yourself to the colleagues, so those who don't have to go off to meetings or have any other distractions. And heavens forbid if you're also a parent, because then you have the guilt of being a parent who's working full time. That's a whole other guilt cycle. And then also thinking about growing a business, and you compare yourself to stay-at-home parents, you compare yourself to your colleagues who don't have children, your colleagues who don't have businesses, and the thing is, you will never measure up. Imposter syndrome will never go away, but there are a couple of things you can do to keep it at bay. Firstly, you have to remind yourself who you are. If you've always been that dedicated, loyal, reliable employee, that's not going to change unless you've changed it. You're still that valued professional, and probably why you're thinking about going into business. And because you're that valued professional, that's not going to change with how you carry yourself at work. So remind yourself who you are. You don't have to take on extra to prove that you're dedicated and loyal. You are already that. And the pressure that you put on yourself by taking on extra only causes more stress, only causes you to shrink, and causes the imposter syndrome to grow larger. And the second thing is, when measuring yourselves up against people who are entrepreneurs, who aren't working, you have to own your expertise and own your space in that field. You belong. You have the skills, you have the knowledge, you have the talent, and you're growing even more skills by juggling the two. And it's so important that you start growing your brand and owning your brand before you leave corporate, because you can't do it when you jump out and expect to build your business. It has to be done before. And thirdly, there is a huge piece on mindset. We know that we are what we tell ourselves, but we keep telling ourselves things we don't want to hear and things we would never tell anyone else. So start reframing what you're telling yourself about imposter syndrome. The reason why all of these different facets show up in you